Welcome back into Prospect, Produce, Prosper. I am John Jagay. I'm joined again by Marc Rogers from Producers Prospect. Marc, I love talking to you because every time I talk to you, I feel like we meet another collaborator of yours, another team member of yours that works with you to be able to really maximize the potential and the output of the people that you work with. So why don't you go ahead and introduce today's guest?
Well, I couldn't be more excited about today. In fact, I've been really leading up over the last couple of podcasts to this particular one. There are very few times in life that you come across somebody that you step back and go, wow, this guy's got it figured out. And I just want to surround myself with those people. And what's interesting about today's guest, and I'm so excited to have him here, is there's no new ideas out there. I mean, today there's no new ideas, right? But the possibility of capturing and bringing all of the biggest things that the best advisors in the country are doing and putting them into a sequence and getting it so that it's repeatable, that you as a brand new green pea advisor or a 40-year veteran can grow your practice, more fully develop your practice, and have a system to run on. And I look at the marketplace in today's world, and it's so difficult to stand out amongst the crowd, right? How do you stand out amongst the crowd with so much noise? I mean, we're competing with big players like even Target and Walmart, but how do you stand out when you're a single person and you're got to fight against Merrill Lynch? Today, I've got the secret sauce. My good friend is Eszylfie Taylor, who owns Taylor Financial and Insurance Services. He owns a company called Taylor Method, and he's got a new reality show just getting ready to drop that I'm super excited about called Mind, Body, and Money. He's got it figured out. And so he and I have really partnered over the last nearly 10 years together. He and I have been on client-facing events, live events, and it's so funny because he and I will argue about who gets to go first because we have some of the same jokes that we share together. And so we like to hand off Tuesday night, he'll go first. Wednesday night, I'll go first. And we always go, that was my joke. I was going to share that. But I'm so excited to have Eszylfie and bring him onto our call here and really pick his brain about the Taylor method and how that's working for advisors and how we can implement it into the Producers Prospect system. So Eszylfie, thanks for being here, bud.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a pleasure. I'm a little bit shy, so hopefully you can hold it down for me today.
Not from what I've heard.
I think that started with, and Jag, you don't know this, but you're looking at the baby from Roots. So it started at a very, very young age, and it just has blossomed from there.
Yeah, I mean, I came into this world, starring in one of the most epic miniseries of all time, Roots Part 2, Behold the Only Thing Greater Than Thyself, and held up to the heavens, and then from there, fulfilled my destiny to be a financial advisor. Who would have known? Now, I appreciate all the kind words and everything. I don't even know that so much that I have it figured out as much as I've failed so much, right? And learned so much from those failures that I've put myself in a position to succeed, right? And I always say I don't believe in winning and losing. I believe in winning and learning. Everything that I do now, from my practice, working with clients directly, to my Taylor method, to my new reality series, Mind, Body, Money, it's all about helping people. It's all about sharing. It's all about connecting. It's all about giving back, right? And I live by the adage, givers get. So I know by giving, by sharing, by helping, that I'll receive the spoils in the end. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I believe in the end, we're all blessed by and for being a blessing to other people.
It's interesting. So many advisors will try to say that it's all about the client. It's all about giving back to the industry. And then to me, there's very few that actually do that. You've always been a great example to me of somebody that actually physically does that, from your nonprofit and what you're doing for kids today and your community to the Taylor method. And so let's jump into the Taylor method, because I think I want to spend and really get into the weeds here and really kind of give people some flavor of what's out there, because in my world, I look at it as this business is really broken down into three things. Number one, how do we get in front of people? Number two, how do you have something to say when you get in front of them? And lastly, how do you make sure that your business gets processed as quickly as possible so we can all make money, right? So let's go to that core number two section, which is we get in front of somebody and now I'm starting to clam up and I don't know what to say to them. How do you answer that with the Taylor method?
So the Taylor method is basically the culmination of my career's triumphs and failures. I think when I last calculated, I've had something like 30,000 client meetings in my career, 30,000. Wow. So imagine all the ways I've had egg on my face, right? So the Taylor method is broken into these four simple parts. part one, the approach. What do I say to get in front of people, right? And that's the key. I mean, you talk about, I've never actually met an advisor who's failed in this business who has a full calendar, right? And it's like, yes, we want to have product knowledge. Yes, we want to get all these designations and licenses and the like, but it doesn't really matter, right? If you don't see people. And again, if you have 20, 25, 30 meetings every week, you're going to succeed, right? A broken clock is right twice a day. If you're out there, you're going to succeed. And so, for me, it's like, okay, how do I get this full calendar? And so in the approach, there's a variety of ways that you can get in front of people. There's personal observation, and that's it. I mean, I'll oftentimes will mistakenly think, oh, I'm working when I'm in my suit and tie, or I'm working when I'm doing a seminar, or I'm working in a client meeting. And for me, I'm like, I'm working anytime I'm building relationships with people. Marc knows I've got 3 girls. My oldest daughter now is 15, and I've got twins who are 12. I used to pray to God that he'd send girls to hang all over me, and he took me literally. He was like, here you go, here's 3 of them.
Eszylfie, let me jump in here for a second, because when you say that, the analogy that comes to mind when you're talking about having a full calendar and, having that many meetings and you're going to succeed at that point, I almost feel like it's that guy in a bar in a nightclub who, if you approach 50 different girls in that nightclub, 48 might shoot you down, but there might be 2 that you have a conversation with and see where it goes. I feel like there's some similarities here.
Hey, and it's funny that you mentioned that, John, because that was the catalyst for my success in this career when I was younger. I mean, taking me back, right? Like that was my thing. I was like, I want to meet one new girl every day. That was my thing when I was in college, like one new girl every day, right? And how hard is it for me to meet one person every day? I just go say hi to everybody. And one of them is going to be like, hey. And so I simply took that mindset. And as I started in my career at 22 years old, it was the same thing, except my prospect pool got bigger. I'm like, not only is it one girl a day, I get to talk to everybody, like everybody, men, women, young, old, everybody's a prospect, right? And so, so that was kind of my thing, is just do a little bit every day, connect with people, meet with people. And we oftentimes in this business get bogged down with all these things that really don't matter. Right? Marc referenced it in the intro, right? Like I get paid to do 2 things: shake hands, kiss babies, close deals, right? Shake hands, kiss babies, close deals. That's what I do, right? And so I want to spend all of my time doing that, right? Shaking hands, kissing babies, and closing deals. And that really starts first with the approach and people. So personal observation, right? And that's my girls, and my girls are great prospecting tools, right? Take them to the park, play with other kids, talk to parents, Daddy, my birthday's coming up. Should I have a little party with a couple of my friends? I'm like, no, invite the entire class and their parents, right? And it's like, any opportunity I have to connect with people and share, I'm in it. So that's personal observation. You've got referrals are big, lifeblood of my business, referrals, connecting with people. It's important that advisors understand you're going to make as much money as your clients make. So if your clients are broke and live paycheck to paycheck, you will be broke and live paycheck to paycheck. If your clients make $100,000 a year, you'll make $100,000 a year. If your clients make $1 million a year, you'll make $1 million a year. So one, not only how do I get referrals, that's an art in and of itself. But then the other part 1B is, and how do I get the right referrals? How do I prospect up? So I teach not only getting referrals, but prospecting up. And then when you say, Eszylfie, I got it. I've got the A client. I've got the high net worth client. I just don't have enough of them, right? Then how do I replicate those A clients? How do I replicate those key opportunities? Marc had referenced it again in the intro. My first year in this business, guys, I made $52,000, right? So I didn't set the world on fire. I made $52,000, right? Last year I did over $3 million of revenue. So how did I go from making $50,000 a year to $50,000 a week, sometimes $50,000 in a day? It's this process and this mindset and this philosophy that I've had, right? How many coaches do you know in this business that teach, this business, right, have made $1 million in a month before? I have. Made $1 million in a month. Now remember, I got 3 daughters. They took all the money. I don't know where it is now, but at one point I said I did have it at one point, but that's it. The Taylor method is effective because I did it and I do it, right? So I think to your point, Marc, it's that first part, it's that approach of getting in front of people, whether it be personal observation, referrals, networking, building centers of influence, obviously things like we've done together, seminars and the like, but that's what I want to do. I want to keep a full plate of opportunities. Right. And like you said, John, if I got 10, 20, 30 meetings a week, I don't need 30 people to say yes. Heck, I could even write 30 new pieces of business every week.
Yeah.
I just need 2. I just need 3 and I'm good.
Well, and it's amazing, right? Because I run across advisors and I interview them as much as Eszylfie interviews individual clients, right? Investors. And it's amazing to me that advisors will go throughout their life and they'll struggle to make the income that they want to make, then they'll finally invest and do a dinner seminar, and they'll pay for Ruth Chris and Fleming's. And this is going to hit home for some. So this isn't going to feel great to some of these listeners I'm getting ready to say this to, right? But someone will spend that kind of money, get in front of a whole lot of money, and then not convert. And when I'll boil down into it, and all of a sudden I find out you don't have a process. So before we ever do that kind of marketing ever again, and you don't have the way to convert these people, why would we ever even start doing that, right? So I think one of the things that Taylor method is that 60-degree wedge in your bag when you're like, I really need to make a shot, or you pick the analogy, right? I need to dig down deep and I need to make sure that I make this sale. What Taylor method has always done for me, and certainly the advisors I've turned it on to, is it's giving them a track to run on that's proven. And all they need to do is sound like Eszylfie. And I've caught myself when I sit down in front of investors and I use it, it works. And then when I don't use it and I walk out of the house like, why don't I just say the thing? That's why it's there for you, because then you can keep going back and you can keep reminding yourself and get access to you. I mean, talk a little bit about kind of the program and how advisors actually can directly work with you in a mentorship.
Yeah, sure. I mean, again, it's 4 parts. It's the approach, right? It's what I say to get in front of people. It's the fact find. When I'm in front of them, what questions do I ask? It's the opportunity within the way to answer those questions. Where's the opportunity for the sale? And then lastly, the close, the call to action. What do I say to get people to write checks? And we have a variety of ways to engage. Obviously you can just buy a subscription. You get access to hundreds of videos, audio series, webinars, podcasts, things that we have. We have a really exciting new addition to the program is these monthly boot camps that are put in. It's a 4-week deep dive into each one of those pillars of the method, and a lot of role playing, which is great because oftentimes people will be like, man, Eszylfie, that was great. I love your language. It's great. And I'm like, well, I know I can say it, but the question is, can you say it? Right? So the role playing is cool because then I can come back and say, all right, ask me for a referral, book this appointment for me. And I'll give you objections. I'll give you rebuttal, and then see how you address that. Because it's about it's about coming back. And people are like, man, how are you so good? And it's like, it's not that I'm better than anyone else or smarter than anyone else. It's just practice. And not only this, you hear this word, practice makes perfect. No. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Yep.
And Marc just said it, right? Think about it. We all have access, relatively speaking, to the same products, right? Life insurance costs kind of what it costs. Annuities kind of perform how they perform. The stock market performs how it performs, right? So why then do some advisors do better than others? If we all have the same market, we all have access to the same products, why then do some advisors do better than others? And it comes down to process and language. What is the process that you engage in, and what is the language that you are using? So I coined this phrase, and this is the whole crux of the Taylor method. It's the objection-free sales process. It's based on asking questions of the client. And when the client answers those questions, you simply delivering, right, a solution to their problems. So people all the time, what product do you have? What are you trying to sell me today? I have nothing to sell you today. I don't sell products. I sell problems. When I understand what your element is, when I understand what your problem is, when I understand what you're trying to accomplish, then by all means, I'll provide a solution to that.
That really is italicized, bold, underlined for me, Eszylfie, because that is the key to any kind of marketing. It's not, hey, let me sell you this. Let me sell you this. Nobody wants to be sold to. People's BS detectors are so good with the amount of messages that we get from our screens everywhere all day long. Appeal to that emotion. You have a problem. I'm going to solve it, with all due respect to Vanilla Ice. But that is really what you're doing here, is you are going to solve somebody's problem, not sell them something.
Yeah, it's like people hate to be sold, but love to buy.
I like that.
People hate to be sold, but love to buy. And the thing about it is, I look at it, and this is the one piece of encouragement, because not only is the Taylor method this concept selling and practical stuff, it's also inspiration, right? Because your wife doesn't get it, your husband doesn't get it, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your kids, right? Your buddies, they don't understand, right? You're in the trenches getting kicked in the face every single day. I understand. And it's hard to get back up, and not only get back up, keep that smile on your face. So I want to offer some encouragement to you. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So through challenges, through adversity, through these trials, we get better, we get stronger. But remember this, our clients, right, our prospective clients are facing what I call a drowning man's issue. What does that mean, Eszylfie? Drowning man's issue. Our clients are in the ocean in a boat that is tipped over and they're in the ocean flailing away for their life, right? Now imagine me, I come by in a lifeboat with a life preserver. Do you care if you're in that ocean and your boat is tipped over? Do you care if that life preserver is yellow, green, orange, purple, polka dots? You really don't care, right? Please send it to me. This, my friends, this is the position our clients are in. You see, without me, right? Without the insurance I'll sell you, right? If you don't come home tomorrow, your family's in a tough spot, chaos, right? Without me, without the work that I do, how much of your money is guaranteed from stock market risk, real estate risk, business risk? How much of your future income is guaranteed for the rest of your life? So here's the deal. Your clients, right? My clients need you. They need me a hell of a lot more than we need them. Any particular deal you do represents maybe 1% of your income. Yet the work that we do represents 100% of our clients' future income. And that is a psyche, that is a sentiment that I want you to hold in your mind and in your heart as you move forward. People covet, people want and respect things that they had to work for, right? So if you're floundering around, dealing with disrespect, chasing clients that don't respect your time and expertise, there's no respect there. They're not going to do business with you, right? Think about, we referenced dating earlier. Growing up, right, when you were dating, who did you like? Did you like the men, women, guys? Did you like the girls that just fell all over you? No, right? It was the ones you had to work for. It was the ones that like, oh, I got women in challenge. Those are the ones that you like. It's the same thing. If you're an advisor and you've been stood up 3 times and your client's not calling you back and they're ditching you on the time and you keep calling them and calling, that's just a sense of desperation. So the interesting thing is the more success that I've had and the more, I don't want to call it aloof, but the less I care about the outcome and simply, again, understanding, focusing on the process, the more success I have had, right? Because when people think and believe that you're just here to help them and provide insights to them, and you're not there to quote unquote just sell them something or push something on them, then they're more apt to fall in line. They're more apt to follow your recommendations. So these are the things that I learned. And this is the thing, right? Like, it's easier to stay on top than it is to get on top. My man Marc knows my famous saying, right? If you stay ready, Marc, what?
Then you're always ready, bro.
Yeah, you're always ready, right? You don't have to get ready. You stay ready. So I'm always ready. So because I never deviate from this process, because I am 100% engaged into process and completely detached from the outcome, right? I am always ready. There's always deals flowing. And the reason that's important, if you close a $10,000, a $20,000, a $50,000 deal, boom, that commission hits your bank account. Do you understand the level of swag and confidence you're going to have that next prospecting call?
Yeah.
Right? 50,000 hits your ledger and you start calling the next day. Hello, this is Eszylfie, man. You know who it is. You come in the office tomorrow. What? I got a 2 o'clock because I got to play around and go with my man Marc. You can come in or not, right? Because I got a 3 o'clock after you. What are we doing? People, yeah, no, I'll be there, right? But when hey, Marc, hey, I know that you haven't called me back in 6 months and that you ignore my calls, but hello? Are you still, right? Yeah. Like, that's what happens, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you just trust the process and you just keep going, it's like, I don't worry about tomorrow. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. And this day, in this present, in this moment, I'm going to crush today. I'm going to win today. Right? And that's what I'm not going to lose sight of, right? Tomorrow will bring enough problems of its own. And that's really, Marc, what I preach in the Taylor method is process, language. And I believe in my heart of hearts, if you do what I tell you to do and say what I tell you to say, you will succeed, no doubt.
It's interesting. I want to pull this back a little bit to say, when you say win the day even, it's all about the activity. What have you done today in your calendar? How have you booked your calendar? And you talk about this all the time with advisors, because as you and I have a similar path that we travel across the country and we do events and we motivate advisors to take action, and then X amount of people go back to their office and they do the exact same thing until the next conference where they get all excited and, I'm going to implement this. I'm going to get going right now. And then they take no action, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think what I want the listeners to really hear and understand is, yes, we want to be motivated and we want to say, hey, did we win the day or not? But that can be measured by the activity. Activity drives the success and results, and it's all a cycle together. And to go along with that, your clients feel that from you, right? They hear that desperation, and they also hear the I'm out working. And you could do just small little tweaks by, even on social media, taking pictures of, you and your clients at meetings. You can take pictures of you being involved into the community, but you literally got to just take the step and the action and start to fill that calendar with that. And again, that's what Taylor Method teaches you what to do.
Yeah. Today before this call, Mark, I went shopping and talk is still cheap. Right? People talk like, man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right? Don't talk about it, be about it.
It's inflation. It's the only thing that's still cheap.
Yeah. The road to walk a mile begins with a single step. You've got to do the work. You've got to do the work. The elevator to success is broken. Man, you got to take the stairs. And that's the thing when people say like, oh my God, Eszylfie, like, how can you, so lucky. It's amazing how lucky you get when you work hard. And that's the thing I think that's so important that people know. These things won't just come to you. They won't be given to you. They won't be handed to you. In this life, you're never given chances. You have to take them. You take chances.
What were you saying to Naya the other day?
Yeah. My oldest daughter got upset at me the other day and she wanted something and I had given her this action plan, right? And she was upset at me. And I'm like, Naya, who are you mad at, right? I said, you cannot be upset about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Right? You cannot be upset about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Who are you mad at? You mad at me or you mad at yourself? And you look introspectively, it's easy. It's why we want to point the finger at someone else. Oh, well, my wholesaler didn't do this or my client did. What did you do though? And that's the thing, process. Have I done everything that's required of me to be successful? Have I done everything required of me to take care of my family? And if you can check the box yes, then the outcome will be what it will be.
My big takeaway here, hearing about the Taylor Method for the first time and sitting down here with the two of you, the big word that comes to mind, and this goes to perfectly with the analogy with your daughter, is accountability. I think for a lot of our financial advisors, they're kind of thrown into the ocean when they start out to get their license. Okay, find some prospects, get some high net worth clients, good luck. But not only are you teaching them how to talk to people and tried and true and proven methods, but there's the accountability piece. And that just really hammers it home, that last story you just told, which is, what did you do? Did you follow the steps? Did you follow up? Did you do all the steps that we've talked about doing? Because I think sometimes, especially when you're in business for yourself, it's very easy to be distracted by shiny objects and, I got to take care of this and I got to take care of this and I got to take care of this. And then what about the results? Well, did you put in the work?
I talk about that a lot in the Taylor Method. I call them non-income generating activities. So we're quote unquote really busy during the day. I'm so busy today, Mark. How many client meetings did you have today? None. Well, then to me, you didn't work. If you spent a day not seeing clients, you didn't work. Well, no, but Eszylfie, I was running illustrations and I was making files and that's great. Those are all necessary things that are required to run your business, but they don't have to be done by you. If I close a deal and every deal I close, I make $5,000 and it takes me 2 hours on average to close that $5,000 deal, I make $2,500 an hour. That's the way I look at it, right? So if I make $2,500 an hour, why on God's green earth would I be doing $20 an hour work?
So true.
And so these are the principles. So if you look at it, and I hope the listeners are getting the sentiment, the Taylor Method is carrier agnostic, product agnostic. I don't care what annuity you like to sell, what life insurance you like to sell, what company you're independent, you're captive. It doesn't really matter. It's process and language. You sell to your clients whatever you think is right for them to buy. I'm not going to get in the weeds there. But what I will preach on and what I am an expert in is process and language. That's my mission. There's an estimated $15.3 trillion unmet life insurance need in our country today.
Wow.
$15.3 trillion. There's an estimated $41 trillion of wealth that's going to transfer from this generation to the next. Our industry is shrinking. Our population is growing. So there's fewer people that do what we do, more people than ever, and more money than ever, and fewer people have planned more now than ever. Man, I like my chances. I like your chances. We just got to get out there and do the thing, work.
So if people want to connect into the Taylor Method and get access to it, obviously you can connect with us at producersprospect.com. We can show you the way and I can make a favorable introduction into Eszylfie. He'll have a one-on-one even conversation with you about your goals and which program may be fit best for you. But where can people go check you out at?
I'm arguably probably the most visible advisor out there between social media, at Eszylfie Taylor. Google me, right? You'll find lots of stuff, but we're at thetaylormethod.com. So just taylormethod.com. We've got a bunch of resources there. I've got a YouTube channel as well, Taylor Method. You could pick up some stuff there as well, but we're here. I'm here to help. I'm here to be a blessing. I'm here to be a guiding light to other people in this industry. And I certainly appreciate you guys for having me on. And whether it be the subscription, whether it be the boot camp, again, open to helping any way I can.
Eszylfie, we'll spell your name in the show notes, and if anybody's trying to Google you, you can just look here in the show notes.
The name is very unique, Eszylfie. So one, the pronunciation in and of itself, people are like, man, how do I pronounce your name? I don't want to butcher it. Easy. think of a selfie like you're taking a photo, put an E in front. Eszylfie, boom, done.
Excellent.
My father's from Ghana, West Africa, name means son of God, so I gotta stick with that one, right?
Like I said, we'll put all your info in the show notes here as well. And I got to say, I'm not a financial advisor, but like I'm inspired by what you're saying today to go out in my line of work and go sell and do more stuff. I really appreciate the thoughts you've had today. Before Marc wraps it up, my last question for you. I know you're in Pasadena. We had snow here yesterday, April 18th in Detroit. Do I even want to ask you what your weather is right now?
Yeah, it's a brisk 73 degrees today. Blue skies. I think I might wear a long sleeve shirt today. I might.
You own one?
Yeah, I do. In LA, jackets are just fashion statements, right? Like we just pull them out, just to be cool. But nah, it's blessed. It's funny that you're mentioning that because I have some family that's in Detroit area, and they sent me a photo yesterday of it snowing as I'm taking a photo from my balcony, looking at the blue sky. So, hey, anytime you want, come on out. The door's always open for you.
Appreciate that.
Hey, Spin, as we wrap up, we'll have you on again because we need to dive into other aspects in marketing and processes that you've created. But spend a few seconds plugging your reality show and kind of what's coming up there so people can see that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. One, as an industry, what we do doesn't get celebrated, right? So I'm excited to be able to illuminate and highlight the power of the work that we do to the marketplace. The name of my show, the docuseries, is Mind, Body, Money. You can actually check out all the sizzle and some of the BTS clips on mindbodymoney.com. So mindbodymoney.com. I have an app also on the App Store if you have an iPhone entitled the same, mind.body.money. So I've got a slew of videos on mindset, affirmation tools, body. You can learn about health and wellness and do yoga with me and fitness training and stuff like that on the app. And then also the money piece, right? We're asked to make all these decisions about finance, but never given a rule book on how insurance or investments or taxes or real estate works. And so there's a bunch of, again, 3 to 5 minute tutorial videos from industry experts in these fields to guide us, right? I always say, when you know better, then you can do better. The app you can download for free and to get full access to, it's like a couple bucks a month, right? It's for all the videos, but it's just a matter of providing insights and being inspiration. So, but again, at Eszylfie Taylor, I'm out there, Mind, Body, Money. I'm excited about that. I'm really excited here in the coming months to announce our network deal. So we'll be on national TV coming to a home near you real soon. But yeah, in the interim, check out the website, mindbodymoney.com, and download the app. Give me 5 stars. 5 stars only. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to be with you in a couple of weeks at your golf tournament that we do every single year. So you better bring your A game, bro, because I'm going low.
I stay ready. I promise to make at least one big putt. At least I'll give you that. I don't know about anything else. All right. Thanks, guys.